To continue on with what Father Kevin spoke about yesterday, I want to jump forward many years from the incident that he described to an incident that happened to someone else, to St. Francis Xavier, a decision that he made that was very much in tune with the decision Ignatius made to spend the money in order to get the degree that he knew would increase his credibility as someone who could direct people spiritually. In St. Francis Xavier's case, he came to Japan and was working in a certain area of Japan. He lived very, very poorly, very, very simply, because that was just the way he had learned from Ignatius, that you lived your life as simply as possible and worked very, very hard. Well, he realized that there in Japan it would help if he had the credibility of the emperor's approval to do that. So he traveled quite a distance there in the snow, suffering along the way to get to the emperor, and appeared before the court dressed in the simplicity and the rags, kind of the cassock that needed repairing, and they wouldn't receive him. They laughed at him as someone who, how could he possibly think that he was important enough to meet the emperor? So he went to the Portuguese ships and dressed himself in the finest clothes he possibly could and brought gifts to the emperor, realizing that that would increase his ability to impress the emperor and perhaps to see him. And as a result of that, he was received and he was given permission to work there, spreading the gospel where he was. He knew that he had to change his tactics in order to promote the very goal that he had. Ignatius, the same thing. When he took the money that he needed, he gathered it and spent it on it because he needed to have that degree. It was what he had studied for so long. The very reason that he was there is so that the Inquisition would stop bothering him, because he had the credentials in order to direct people spiritually. And so I think Ignatius throughout his life was very interested in people developing whatever they needed in order to fulfill their mission, even though it might cost far more money. And so he put Jesuits through school after school after school, year after year of schooling, and in spite of the cost, he took on schools in Rome, and some say that he had to watch where he went on the Roman streets because the debts were so high and he wasn't able to pay them all the time. But what he saw is that money was an instrument. As long as it was used as an instrument to further the gospel, he was fine with it. If it was to spend on yourself, entertainment, those sorts of things, he was far, far, far less sold on that idea. And that's the wisdom we get from the autobiography for today.